20 Infinity.
96.7 The Beat, the A's, hip hop and R&B. I am Moran, the man. Welcome to 20 Infinity Live. Another episode, another edition, another vibe. And I'm in the presence of the amazing. Well, you know what? I don't feel like I could do it any justice. Please introduce yourself, ma'am. Please.
I am Pastor Cora Jakes Coleman.
Emphasis on the word pastor.
Yes.
And she is in my face. That ring is blinking. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Somebody is in love with you.
He loves me lots and lots.
Or try to put the mic to your face, though.
Okay.
That works. So how you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy to be in Atlanta. You all love me here, so it's been good.
Absolutely. So you have a lot of things going on. You know, you're more than just a pastor.
Yes.
I feel like, you've had a lot of cosigns as far as the type of things that you do for people. So how does it feel for you knowing that a lot of people are just receptive to you as a whole?
It's overwhelming, to say the least. I'm honored and humbled that people look to me for inspiration and that they're finding it. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be a blessing.
Yes, ma'am. Why is it such a blessing to be a blessing? Do you feel like you have a certain responsibility that you have to fulfill personally?
Well, I challenge myself to live my life to the service of others. And so anything that I go through that I feel is going to bring hope or faith or strength to someone else, it's free for me to share. So I share. I believe that when we are able to bless people from things that have broken us, that it helps them to be healed also. So who wouldn't want to do that?
Absolutely. I agree with you. So if you care to share, what are some things that may have broken you on your journey?
Well, I was diagnosed with infertility at the age of 22. I'm 31 now. And it was shortly before I got married that I got diagnosed. So battling that, I was actually diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And when I was diagnosed, I wanted to, again, use my story to help someone else. And the Lord just kind of was telling me about how we all battle with infertility in some area in our life, and that I could be a hope to bring faith that you don't have to stay infertile. You can use where you are to produce something great.
Absolutely. That's very good. So growing up in the church, because we all know who your daddy is.
Yeah.
Your daddy is very famous.
Yeah.
Major shout out to TD Jakes.
And my mama.
And her mama. Major shout out to the whole entire church.
Shout out to the church and the people of God.
Absolutely, because I can say I have watched a few of your father's sermons on the internet, and I can honestly say he. I don't know. It's like even if he wasn't a pastor, he'd be doing something good.
He would be.
Even if he wasn't a pastor.
I know that for sure.
Absolutely. So, how does it feel for you being the daughter of somebody on such a high level? Do you feel pressured to live up to something?
No, my parents never pressured us to be anything but good people. That's all they ever asked us to be someone that people could depend on, someone that people could rely on, that told the truth, that helped those who needed help. They just wanted us to be good people. So growing up, my parents kept a very normal household.
So were y'all allowed to watch BET?
We watched BET.
Oh, what?
Yes, we watched BET. We listened to R&B.
Like y'all were allowed to watch like 106 and Park and stuff, not just the Sunday stuff.
All of it. Me and my sister were just doing a podcast singing Chicken Head. Okay, like we was in there.
So y'all were lit all your way to church. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, we had a good time. Our family's very fun. We're very light, but we can drop everything and pray in a minute, and that's just our life. So growing up, that's all I've ever known is just fun and joy and laughter and faith.
Wow. Interesting. That's great. So what was it like for you growing in your faith? Because, as kids, most of us have been taught, what God is. But as time goes on, we all mature and you eventually learn exactly what God is. So as a child, what was it like for you growing in your faith?
Well, I have always been very faith driven.
Right.
I believe that is just kind of the role I play in our family. Whenever anything would go on, I was always telling everyone, everything's going to be okay. I never really knew for sure that everything was going to be okay or how everything was going to be okay. But I knew that everything was going to be okay. So building my faith actually came after the infertility. I had strong faith, like giant faith, but when I got hit and my faith got tested, then things got a little shaky for me. And so building my faith was about getting around people who would not feed in to my fear, but would encourage my faith and would strengthen my faith and would tell me now that everything's going to be okay. You know, you're used to being the person to tell everybody that everything's going to be okay. And when it's time for you to hear it, you need to get around people who are willing to do that. So I was able to surround myself with a support system that helped to encourage me and strengthen me. And now I'm walking in fertility.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you. All that is dope. So you got you a little book.
I do. It got me a little
Got you a book, you know,
little book.
out here doing your thing. Talk to us.
Ferocious Warrior.
Yes, ma'am.
It's my second book out, and it's really one of my most transparent pieces. I believe that I showed a little bit of myself in my first book, Faithing It, but this is really about what developed me, what really made me this giant that I am. People who hear me pray or who have heard me preach, they call me ferocious. So I figured I am ferocious, yes, but everyone is ferocious. There's a ferocious warrior inside of all of us.
Dope.
And so my goal with Ferocious Warrior is to show people how they can use the things that are going on in their life to fuel them to their purpose and into their promise so that they can dismantle their enemy and rise.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you care to share, because of course I want you to get your profit. I want people to buy the book.
Yes.
But what are some of the gems in the book that we can look forward to?
Some of the greatest gems, I believe, I talk about praying and fasting. I pray at the level of my faith. So Ferocious Faith is a chapter completely dedicated to being ferocious in your faith. I talk about how I got into wanting to be a prayer warrior and minister. I talk about my dad and just kind of watching him and seeing how he developed and wanting to be like my dad. That's how I've always been since I was little. I believe that there are a lot of exposing of the enemy in the book. I think that we tend to push away our enemies. I am a keep your enemy close, figure out their strategy and their resource, and then tell everybody else. So that's what I did. I brought the enemy close. I spent time in some of the darkest places in my life, and I figured out his strategy, and I'm telling the devil's secrets in Ferocious Warrior.
Oh, wow. So growing up, you know, as a child, did you ever feel the pressure of, oh my God, my dad is TD Jakes, I have to always do the right thing? Like, did you ever go through anything like that?
You know, just regular pressure. I believe that we all go through a pressure from our parents. It doesn't matter whether they're well known or they're, you know, picking up garbage on the side of the street. You want to make your parents proud.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that is all I've ever wanted to do, is to make my parents proud. So I never felt like, oh my gosh, like I'm behind my dad. I've always felt pressured, feeling like I had to exceed him. I had to supersede his
Keep
legacy.
the name going.
And so that's a little bit of pressure. You know, how do you surpass someone of such great strength and such great legacy? But I get to share it with my sister. And so we kind of carry the pressure together and we push through it together. We've never been the type of people to feel fear and it stop us. We were raised to feel fear and move anyway.
Absolutely. And here we are today. Yes, ma'am. So, you know, just by talking to you and just being in your presence, I could tell that you are a very strong Christian. You are really, really in your faith and you really, really take it all serious.
Yes,
so, in closing, what is some advice that you could provide for anybody who might be struggling on their journey to, you know, Christ or just on a journey to just doing the right thing as a whole?
Do not dictate your life by the opinions and perspectives of other people. Embrace your flaws because they can be used to fuel your destiny. Don't be afraid to be authentically you. No one else can do it better than you can. And there is nothing that you are facing right now that you don't have the authority and power to dismantle and destroy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You absolutely dropped so many gems. Instagram, Twitter, website. Where can everybody hear you preach, promote your book?
Yes.
All that right now. Wait. Before we do that, I forgot. My good, amazing friend, Crystal, right here. She is also a woman in faith. She has a gift for you. Please come up with the gift. Everybody need to see this. This is special for you. Special for you.
Resonance.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. That is for you. Hood and holy.
Yeah, you know what? A little bit. I am. I think I am a little bit hood and holy.
You hood and holy. Please explain. Explain that. We please.
I like to think I came from the hood kind of low key, maybe because my husband really came from the hood, so okay. I kind of steal his hood, and like we both from the hood because he's from
y'all
the
are
hood.
one, you know, that's what they say, you know.
Won. So I'm from the hood of wherever hood he is at.
Okay.
And I'm holy too, so
say no more.
We'll rock it together.
There it is.
Everybody can follow me at C. Jakes Coleman. I'm C. Jakes Coleman everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Periscope, Instagram. I'm C. Jakes Coleman. My website, cjakescoleman.com. But they can pre-order the book at ferociouswarrior.com.
Absolutely. ferociouswarrior.com. Go get that book.
Yes.
Gems on the way. Vibes on the way. People finna get saved and all that.
That's the plan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Greatly appreciate talking to you. I'm Miranda Man, 96.7 The Beat, 20 Infinity Live. We out.